Hey, Blackburn Social Club, God bless America, talking boots. And this one's a special one. This one's an actual request by one of you guys. You had asked for, hey, can you do a top 5? Can you do a top 5 boots? And initially that scared me a little bit just because, and I even answered, it's going to be tough to do. I've got just full disclosure, I've got more than 20 pair of boots, have had obviously more than that, have sold some down, and so that's kind of where I'm sitting right now, is about 20 pair of boots. I've probably got a couple more coming, and I didn't count, just in the spirit of the topic, I did not count anything that I've recently gotten. And when I say recently, I mean in the last week or two, because I don't want to count something like let me give you an example. The Coyote Rough Out Uplands. I just got them, have worn them a couple of times, really like them, but since I've only worn them a couple of times, I didn't want to put that in the top 5. And just give me more time with them. Same thing goes for that pair of Nick's boots. I mean, I've recently got and acquired those milled buck brown Nick's boots on the 67 last, and initially it's an impressive boot. It's certainly an impressive quality, impressive made. But I just, having only had it for just a short period of time, I wanted to make sure I got more than 1 or 2 wears in before I started talking about it being in the top 5. That's when the hard part happened. It was easy to eliminate a few, but then when you're staring at this wall of 20 pair, and the way I am, I walk up to a pair and I just, it's almost like I'm imagining myself having, it's like you're talking about somebody that you used to know. You just imagine the good times you had with that person. And I think, it started getting really difficult. It started getting really tough to look at this wall of boots and start talking about which ones would not make my top 5. So I was trying to get creative, and I was trying to think of a way that I could do this and not necessarily pay homage to all boot makers or one of each style or one of each last or one of each leather type, because you guys know that I've got multiples of the 79 last, and I've got multiple Grantstones, and I've got multiple this or multiple that. So I started viewing it from that angle. And what I ended up doing was I found an easier way to come up with my top 5. And that was when I looked at one boot versus, one, take, for example, and we'll start talking about this Grantstone first. This is the Grantstone brass boot in natural waxed Commander. You can start to see it's getting, plenty of break in. It's starting to mold a little bit. It's got their Commando sole on it. I'm from where I can sit, I can see where the jeans are starting to rub and kind of transfer some color onto it. So it's just starting to get scuffed up and nicked up a little bit. This one's got the storm welt, kip lining. I mean, just a amazing boot by Grantstone. Amazing boot. I've got 2 pair of Grantstones. I've got this pair, and I've actually got a pair of loafers that I need to do. I need to show you guys just because I'm thinking more about there's going to be times that I'm not going to wear a boot, and so I do have a pair of Grantstone shoes that I wanted to try, but this particular boot, I've got 2 brass boots. I've got one in natural wax Commander, and I've got one in the deer black wax deer. And so I posed the question, rather than saying which boot belongs in my top 5, I posed the question, which of my brass boots would I sell? I mean, which one of them, if somebody walked up and said, I'll give you what you paid, which one would I let go of first? And for me, the one I'd let go of first was the black wax deer. This one, I thought, I'm not getting rid of. One, it's a size 11. It's better sized for my foot. Two, I just love the natural color. I love the fact that this thing's picking up so much patina just after probably what works out to be a few weeks wear. And so, in total, it's got a rugged nature to it. I love the way the brass boot looks from the aerial shot. It's robust, but it still has that sweeping foot, that shape of some of these dressier last, and more of that, to me, it's got more of that I don't want to call it a Munson feel, because if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember right now which way the Munson splays, but either way, I mean, you can see in that boot, it's got a hard hook to it, and it allows your foot to be natural. So long story short, this boot was one I would not sell. So this one goes in my top 5. Now, I'm not going to rank them 1 through 5. I'm just talking top 5, and so this one, in no real order, is one of my top 5. Would not sell it. Next, I started looking around at what kind of boots had character and did something more than just look like your typical boot. And this has been one of my favorites since I got it. This is the Dark Coyote Dark Coyote Rough Out. This is this is a 79 last from Truman. This has the Eugene regrind sole. I mean, so the combo in and of itself is a stunning combo. This is a little bit different from the Upland boots that I've got in that one's more tan, and this one has more of a sage green or bronzy look to it. It's got the just a leather tongue, just contrasted there. Again, it's a flat wax, Goodyear welt. I keep saying flat wax. I'm sorry, flat welt. And I just, like I said, again, this is just one of those boots that since I've gotten it, I love wearing it. I love putting it on. In an 11 also, it lets me put on a thin sock. It's got the unstructured toe, which I really like, because most of the 79s don't look as low profile as this one. So I really wish that Truman would do more unstructured toes, and maybe I'm just missing them. Maybe they do them quite often, but if they had more 79s with an unstructured toe, I'd be all over them. Because you can absolutely tell, now given this is a cap toe variety, but you can see how much more pronounced that toe is than this one. So when I started looking around, and I know I didn't count the Upland in one of my, because it's a recent acquisition, but when I started looking around, this one actually I pulled first. So when I was thinking about top 5, this was the first one I pulled out, and I think it speaks for itself. It's just a good looking boot. Wear it with khakis, wear it with blue jeans. Such a good looking boot. Would not sell it. Then I started getting a little tough, because these two, you can tell they're a little bit different in the pack, Natural Wax Commander and the Dark Coyote Rough Out. So then I started getting down to the nut cutting, and I'd already picked 2 pair of the 5 that I was going to bring out here, and you guys can see that there's some pretty big hitters missing. I studied, and the next one I reached for was the Parkhurst, one of their old school, made in America 602s. Now this one's got the day-night sole. This one, this was back when, again, back when it was an actual day night, not just, a Parkhurst branded sole. This one, natural chrome excel. It's more of that gentleman boot. I love it, and I picked it just because this one has that patina. It's got that aging natural chrome excel. It's not perfect by any means. It's been worn and worn and worn again. And of all the Parkhurst I got, of all the 602s, 602Ms, even that stitch down boot, you guys know I was willing to sell the stitch down almost right away just because I didn't like the way it fit. But this one is one that I wouldn't sell. And I don't know if it's the nostalgia of being, it's a Parkhurst, but it's a made in America Parkhurst. I don't know if that was the why for me, as much as I just love a natural chrome excel boot. And this one has that, it just has that gentleman dressy appearance. It can wear well. And so if I were to sell every Parkhurst boot, I've got the Anise Kudu, I've got the Beaver Fur Kudu, I've got the Weathered Henna, which I'm actually wearing today, and the Stitch Down. I got five pair of Parkhurst, but that's the pair that I would not sell. So that, again, in my mind, that, flip that around, that's a top 5 boot. So now I've gotten 3 out of the way, and I'm looking at that sea of 79 lasted Trumans. Now, let me give some honorable mention before I go on. Honorable mention goes to my Red Wing Iron Rangers. I did not pull them out. They're my oldest boot to me. They're my oldest heritage boot, and I did not pull them out. I did not put them in this just because, to me, I wasn't going to reach out and grab a work boot. I wasn't going to reach out and grab something to me that I just genuinely speaks to me work. I wanted to make this about more fashion, more style, and you guys know I've said it 1,000 times. I'm not getting rid of the Red Wings, the Iron Rangers, because that's just the boot that, that and the 875s, they're just iconic for what they are. But and I'd be lying if I said, to be honest, I wasn't even looking at the 875s. The rest it might have a spot out here. The 875 might have a spot, the mock toe, but it doesn't. And really, it's going to be okay because I've got a camera and I've got a YouTube account. So if in 6 months' time, once I've had more time with Nick's and I've had more time with the uplands, and I've got some more uplands coming, and I want to go back out and dig out the 8, I can do another list. I can do a top 7, I can do a top 10, or maybe I jumble it up. So I'm in no. This is the time. This is the stamp in time. So where was I? I was looking at the 79s, the sea of 79s. I gave the honorable mention to the Red Wing Iron Rangers, but now I'm back to the sea of 79s, and you guys know I've got Java wax flesh. I've got 2 pair of those, one with two different soles. I've got olive waxed. I've got stone Rambler. I've got the snake bite, tobacco snake bite. I've got the sesame double shot. I've got the 56 lasted boots, and of all the Trumans, I still narrowed it down to bring these 2, and I'll talk why didn't I do the 56 last. I've got 2 pair of 56 lasted boots, and one of them I went through a little bit of effort. You guys know that sesame double shot to get them stretched and to get them fitting well. They are easily comfortable now, but when I'm thinking about top 5, it just, to me, it didn't necessarily make it as an immediate jump in the top 5. Not saying I'd get rid of them, but they just didn't make it to me. These are the ones that I reach for more often of the remaining pairs. I didn't pick the Java waxed, even though I like the Java waxed in the Eugene Regrind. That's the squeak boot that I just got repaired. even though I love the brand new Java waxed, all of those boots, even the natural cypress, all of them were unique in their own color, but I don't think they stretched the envelope or pushed the envelope to me in the same way that these two did. And I hope I'm making sense, but I've got the olive waxed flesh. I pulled this out and I picked it over a few of the others just because this was something that was so unique to me. Like I showed one of the Instagram posts I had 3 pair of boots lined up, the ones I was wearing here, and then the Sesame double shot, and then the Cypress. And one of you guys might have known which one was which, but for somebody else 10 feet away, you wouldn't have called it out as a unique boot. When I wear these and the sun hits them, this olive waxed, it's a unique boot. I mean, it's just got a color to it that you can't deny, and I think it just looks money. And I'm not talking about because it's green. I just mean it looks rich. It looks sexy, and I love the fact that it will patina and start to break down just like Java Wax Flesh does. So I really love the wax fleshes, and I think that's a Horween leather. I really like them. I really like these several colors. I think the only one I don't necessarily have is the black waxed flesh. They may be changing that here soon if they come out with that 20, but right now I picked this to be in the top 5. And the last spot, again, I know this is if you're counting, that's 379 lasted boots in my top 5. The last one I'm giving to the Stone Rambler, and when I talk about unique, that's, to me, this one takes the cake. I wasn't ever big on the Coach Rambler. To me, I don't care for something that's so rusty looking, and apologies to everybody that's got one, but to me, I like a little bit more toned down, just that brassy color of that boot, or at least maybe it was the lighting or something to that effect. That when I saw it, it just didn't do it for me. But this boot right here, this Stone Rambler, I mean, it's stunning to look at. It's got that wadded up paper bag texture. It oozes character, and it's every piece of leather, every single thing about it. And when I talk, I think I might have called this the Iron Ranger Killer in one of the early videos. Again, aesthetically, cap toe, work boot, kind of, it just got that look to it. But to me, this boot is one I'm not afraid to kick around, knock around, ride a motorcycle, wear with anything. I mean, this would wear with khakis and jeans alike. So yeah, I mean, I'm studying it now, and I'm liking it more and more the more I hold it. So when I think about this one, this is one of those boots I would not sell. I would hold on to this. In fact, I have really struggled not to buy the Uplands in this version, and if it wasn't for this mock toe coming out, I probably already would have, just because I really did enjoy wearing those Uplands the other day, and I don't know what it is about that little bit of extra leather, but I think it's more the heavy lug sole, but the combination of that, the heavy lug sole plus a little bit extra leather, just changes the outlook of a boot, even though it's the same last. But this one made the 5th cut. So that's my top 5. You guys tell me, did I overlook anything? Did I screw anything up? Challenge my thinking? Again, I've got a camera and I've got time on my hands. I've got a channel. So as I get to know the Nicks more, as I get to know those Uplands more, as I Truman's about to make a drop in the next week or two that will add another boot to my collection. This is going to change it's just going to change with my opinions and my experience with what I'm wearing. So this is today's top 5 boots. Dark Coyote Rough Out 79, Parkhurst Natural CXL on the 602, Stone's brass boot and natural wax commander, Truman's 79 last stone Rambler, and Truman's 79 last olive waxed flesh. You guys be blessed. I'll get this uploaded. We'll talk soon.